Welcome to your feature presentation, the podcast where we bring you the latest and greatest movies in pop culture. Today we're going over my 10 out of 10 movie list. These are movies that I think are 10 out of 10, and I'm going to break down what that means to me, you know? And with me today, your favorite, your curly-haired boy, Andrew McKay.
Terrific. Yeah, I don't have a hat this week. That seems weird.
Honestly, it was throwing me off for a second. It's like, why does he look different?
Yeah.
But
If y'all are wondering what's under my hat.
hatless. So, hey, if you're just listening to the audio, pop that video on. See Andrew without a hat.
Bald.
You just have like a massive receding hairline that's like to the middle of your forehead.
It's back here.
Yeah. No, you have a lot more hair than me, so I can make that joke. But yeah, so today's episode, we got a lot of fun. We got some movie news, we got some movie reviews, and then we'll go into my list. So do you want to start off with some of our movie news here?
Yeah, totally. Most notable, I think, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, would be a Stephen King update. Not only a Stephen King update, but a Mike Flanagan update. If you don't know what I'm referencing, Mike Flanagan, for some time now, has had the rights secured to create a Dark Tower television series. Dark Tower is one of the greatest works of fiction that Stephen King has produced so far. I personally have not finished the series. It kind of, classic Stephen King, it really dragged on. But it's very beloved. It is considered like his magnum opus, you could say. So Dark Tower did get a movie adaptation in 2017 with Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. It did well at the box office, but for some reason, it just was not very well received by the fans. So they cut any of the future movies. Since then, Mike Flanagan has started script writing, him and a team of people he likes to work with. It is drastically slowed down. So what they've seen so far, we got a little update from him this past weekend. What they've seen so far is very good in their scripts, but it's very slow going. There are lots of other projects that Mike Flanagan is working on. So that's a little update and maybe an introduction for those of you who are new to Dark Tower from Stephen King. There are tons and tons of Stephen King movies, his books that are being adapted into movies just in this year alone. I think of The Running Man, which we saw last weekend. I think of The Long Walk. I think of Welcome to Derry, which is a spinoff of Stephen King. I'm sure there's one or two more. Prolific writer. And Dark Tower is interesting as a series because it kind of mixes horror, Western, sci-fi all into one. And he really connects a lot of his movies. Dark Tower is kind of the connecting point for all of his universes. So every book kind of has loose connections. We've referenced this before. When characters go to Maine, they usually will like either enter a town called Derry in a random book that's not about Pennywise. And they'll be like, oh, this place is creepy, right? So Stephen King has those connections there, but Dark Tower effectively ties in everything in a very solid sense because the Dark Tower is kind of the center of his multiverse, if you will. Really, really good implications. If Dark Tower is a TV series that connects all of the universes of Stephen King, then what Welcome to Derry is doing right now by connecting Shawshank Redemption, The Shining, and Welcome to Derry, It, by connecting those, I think fans will really, really like it. But it'll be a very long time, yeah, I think. So I'm excited for that one. Mike Flanagan is great. I don't think he really has any misses for me.
Yeah. That's something I always think about because Justin Gill from the Doodads is always like, dude.
We went to go see a Mike Flanagan movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Justin and
awesome. Yeah, I think I like Stephen King. You know, we talked about this in our bonus episode, is that he's such a good idea guy. He has so many ideas, and so many of them are just brilliant. He's got this short story that he tells on the one of the Tonight shows that he never like did anything with. And it's the story about a couple, like a husband and wife are in an airport and they're just like trying to get on a plane. And he goes, the wife goes to the bathroom and the guy like waits outside and it's like 20 minutes go by and he's like, we've got to make this plane, like what's going on? And he like asks like another lady to like go in and check it out. Like, hey, can you see if my wife's okay? Go in and check. The lady goes in and then like another like 10-20 minutes go by and still nothing happens. And he's like, what is going on? So he gets the security and then like a security guard go in and then never comes back out. And then like another thing, like it keeps building. And then the last thing is like they have like a police officer show up and then everyone just keeps going and then just nothing ever happens. Like there's no idea what's going on. It keeps like escalating. And he goes, and I never finished the story because I couldn't figure out what was going on in the bathroom.
That's so funny.
And like even
I'm
in me
like,
telling you,
I'm into it.
you're
I'm
like,
enthralled. I'm like,
yeah, you're like,
what?
I'm all in. Like, where's this going? And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I thought it was cool.
but
But
he's
also, what a
such-
great instinct to have of like, I'm not going to write that story because I don't have a good ending for it.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about this in Halloween, or one of our Halloween episodes, is like Pet Sematary was fully written and he just didn't like, he was like, it was just too dark and a little messed up.
Yeah.
So he's like, I'm not going to publish it. And his wife was like, you have to, it's too good not to publish.
Mhm.
Which I mean, now it's so funny because I think it's actually pretty tame when you consider a lot of horror movies out there. And like
Yeah.
this book is like, it's dark, but I still think, I mean, hey, sometimes dead is better. So that's good. Like little segue because I just want to shout out for our movie review segment that we did in an
Mhm.
episode where both of us saw together, which is rare because we live 2 hours
Yeah.
apart. We saw Predator Badlands and The Running Man back to back, which was super fun. We went to what was it 6:30 and 11 p.m.
6:30 and 11 p.m.
It's so I feel like I haven't done that in a while, but I was
Oh, it was
vibing.
insane.
So fun. And we did find out you can bring your old popcorn bucket back if it's from that day. So if anybody's wondering. So now that we've The Running Man and Predator Badlands, now that you've sat on it for a while, is there anything, do you like it more? Are you still the same? Like, I guess, where is that at for you?
Yeah. Predator Badlands is one that I want to rewatch for myself because I love the series. So that is highly entertaining. And I'm excited as they expand the universe to watch it, like, for me. The Running Man is a really, really good movie to show someone else. I don't think it'll be as good as a rewatch for myself, but it is so fun that I want to show other people. So like that, I think The Running Man will kind of lose its steam a bit before Predator Badlands for me, just because of my obsession with the series of Alien Predator. But The Running Man was incredible. I highly recommend it. I've already told like 5 people in person to go see that movie because they were kind of like on the fence there, and I'm excited to like show my wife. I think she's gonna really like it. So, yeah,
And I would say too, if you're on the fence, go see it. It's not a super deep movie, but it's kind of futuristic. It's almost like a apocalypse because it's so like what do they call that, dystopian future, I guess. So I would say go see it. Like I said I think I was kind of working through it at our last episode, but it doesn't have a ton of the Edgar Wright feel to me, which to me that Edgar Wright is those quick cuts, those music based hits, things like that. It just didn't have that over the top. I mean, Baby Driver was acted to a click track, which is crazy. So the music was chosen beforehand and they walk on beat. They, all this stuff. And it's like such a conceptual, movie.
yeah,
And then even in like Baby Driver, and then especially like in Hot Fuzz, Shaun of the Dead, like his Cornetto trilogy, he has these cuts. Like when Nicholas Angel from Hot Fuzz, when he's going from London to like basically the boonies, it keeps cutting between looking at his cell phone. He's on the train and then he's stopped and then he looks at his cell phone, blah, blah. Every other shot is the cell phone, and the bars of service keep going down as he's leaving the city. Just like such a cool way to show movement, to show that character is leaving known civilization. Like, we're really going out to the farm on this one, you know? And I think that is such a cool way to show those things. Or even in World's End, when they're showing the beer fill up, it does all these quick cuts between, not just like, here's your 4 beers, now we're drinking them, and Will Ferrell's ad-libbing some line about beer. It's like, cut, beer, joke, table. Like, it's just so well executed and shot. And I think The Running Man is really good, but I missed the Edgar Wright-isms that I'm used to, because he does those so well. And I think, to me, I love the movie, but that's why this is not I'm going to watch this every year, which for me is
Most
all those other,
right is
yeah. I'd love to watch that every year. Love to be, part of that. So, yeah, I think that was tough, but I still love the movie. If you're on the fence, definitely go see it. Worth your time.
Yeah.
Predator Badlands.
Wow, that's...
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was gonna say that's so cool that you've noticed, like, you've taken such a positive, like, you've attributed so much positivity to that director, and you've found the things that you like about him, and they're so specific that when he doesn't take his stylistic choices to the extreme that he usually does, you're like, I kind of wanted more of that. Because you're absolutely right. The Running Man feels like this is your excuse to do it even more, to like do those harsh, really speedy cuts. The movie was really well paced.
Yeah.
I think that some other directors would have paced it too slow, and it was fast. It was a very fast-paced movie, and I appreciated that. I think that's very Edgar Wright. But yeah, we didn't get any of that, realistically, any of that really cool shortcut, like, jump scenes that convey like parts of the story without a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Anyway, so Predator Badlands for you.
Yeah. So Predator Badlands has been sitting real well with me, honestly. So I saw it twice, because I saw it on my own opening weekend, and then I saw it with you, and I was like, I'll totally go see it again. Happy I saw it again, and I'm already can't wait to see it.
Awesome.
Again. So I've been really into Predator. I'm always more of an Alien guy when it comes to these two series. And my first Alien and Predator movie were Alien versus Predator. Love that movie. Judge me if you will. But then I watched all the Alien series because of that. And I've seen like the original Predator, but then I have not seen all the Predator movies. So I was like, this encouraged me. Like, I want to go through all the Predator movies. I've never done that. So
Yeah.
I think I don't think I've seen a 1 second of the second one, for instance.
Really? Adrian Brody is in that one.
No, that's Predators. I'm talking about Predator 2 with Donald Glover.
Predators? Yeah, Adrian Brody and Donald Glover.
Oh, wait,
Am
who am
I
I
tripping?
talking about?
I'll be your Jamie.
But anyway, so that really encouraged me to like go back through the series.
Did I say Donald Glover? Danny Glover? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, Adrian Brody's not in that. Adrian Brody's in Predators, Predators. Actually, I think is technically 3. If we're not including AVP and AVP 2. Yeah, I like that one. I saw that because that's the one where they basically collect a bunch of top of the quality like fighters from like Earth and everything like that, and they put them on a crazy planet. But anyways,
have I never seen Predator 2?
Dude, I bet you haven't. It's an underground one. It's not
Gary Busey.
Yeah, Bill
Paxton.
Yeah, Bill Paxton.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. I've never seen it, and it's okay. It's like 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb. I think this is the one that people skip. This is kind of like there's a reason why this is the follow up, and then they didn't get another one until 20 years later. Yeah. But yeah, so I just want to watch it because I enjoy going through series. But anyways, seeing this movie, and this is Dan Track, what's his name?
Trachtenberg.
Trachtenberg. So he did Predator Badlands, he did Killer of Killers, and he did Prey. So I this weekend went back and watched Prey. Love that movie.
Nice.
That is such a well shot movie.
Yeah.
And we get to some animal CG, which I am very against animal CG, but there's a lot of great pictures of just animals in the wild. And I really like that. Just like beautiful, like North American countryside shot, like the crisp, it's like outdoors. Like it's just such a visually stunning movie. And it's just a simple movie about the predator trying to prove themselves by going on these hunts, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, big fan of that. So I think Predator Badlands, it was such a good movie, and the rewatchability for me is very high. So I'm fully in for that one.
Nice.
All
Very
right. So I want to talk about one more news item. And I did want to mention, I think there's, so the wide releases, Avatar, Fire and Ash is basically kind of the next bigger movie that we've kind of talked about before. So that's coming out in December. The next thing I'm really excited about is Fallout Season 2. So that's coming out December 17th. And that's the next big thing that I'm just like, I'm really pumped to see. Been waiting for a while.
That feels like such a fast turnaround. I'm very happy with that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Because we were getting like the opposite of spoiled or being screwed. Like, hey, you like that show? We'll be back in 5 years.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, man. It's so weird. I think about that all the time. I feel so sad for like kids in high school because you can't grow up with a show anymore. You can't say
every year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can't say, oh, freshman through senior year, I watched this show every week, got a, like 12, 20 episodes, and I love this show growing up. You can no longer do that. That's like, yeah, you're like, oh, I saw it when I was a sophomore, and then it came out when I was in college, and I was on into other things. Like, there's no buildup of fandom, you know? It's sad.
Ugh.
Anyways, as I end on that bummer of a note, but really excited for Fallout Season 2. Yeah, it does. No, I love being a kid. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about, movie news, and we'll move to my top 10, or my 10 out of 10s. John Williams is once again teaming up with Steven Spielberg for his UFO movie.
Yeah,
he is coming out of retirement, and to be honest, John Williams, I'm the guy, like, whenever I've heard he's doing another movie, I'm like, please survive to do this movie.
Yeah.
This is Steven Spielberg and John Williams' 30th movie together. That's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah.
I can't imagine making 30 movies in general.
Yeah.
But to say that those two guys, they're not together all the time, but they've been together in making a movie for 30. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not all like Steven Spielberg directed movies, but it's just like them together on a movie have done that. And I just think that's really cool. John Williams, I feel like is kind of interesting because, I mean, like at this point, he's like early 90s. And I don't know. I think his music has not, I wouldn't say we're getting the best John Williams and his later in life, but a bad day John Williams is still better than most other composers that have ever lived. So I think it's really cool. And I think also Steven Spielberg is definitely someone, I'm not trying to say this in a negative way, but they're definitely, both these guys are beyond their prime at this point. They're not putting out the best movies of the decade, like they were. And at the same time, it's really cool to see a composer you love, a director you love, teaming up. And especially, this is a Spielberg UFO movie. This is something like, that's the wheelhouse, right? So
yeah, so cool.
I'm excited for that. It's done filming right now. So there's like not an official name. Some people are calling it Non-View, but it's a mystery UFO movie, but it's finished filming. Should be coming out next year. So that's been confirmed so far, but I think that's really cool. So this is not something we're just talking about. It's actually shown. Um, okay, so let's move on here to I want to say this because it's perfectly in line. We don't have time. This is going to be a long episode. I apologize.
That's good.
Dan Trachtenberg, right? So he also, this is crazy fact I found out. So he's doing Predator Badlands, everything we just talked about. He actually has had he basically has the rights or is working on the rights for the Waterworld movie. And he was creating a TV show, a Waterworld TV show. I'm talking about a TV show based on the Kevin Costner like Waterworld movie. Are you familiar with this?
No.
Okay.
What?
So you know Mad Max?
Yeah.
The world is a desert. The opposite of that. The world is water.
Oh.
This you watch this movie and it's like this is such a Mad Max ripoff. It's like, well, we can't do the same thing. It's like, what about instead of desert, it was water? It's really cheesy and I love it. Honestly, the concept. So he's basically like this. Kevin Costner is this Moana, basically. He's a wayfinder, and there's no land anywhere, so it's all just like boats, and people have like roped wreckage together to make like floating islands and stuff like that, and they're all small. Everything is very scarce, obviously, so it's all about like trade and things like that. The big crazy moment is when Kevin Costner is revealed that he has gills. So he's actually started to mutate so he can go underwater.
What?
It's a ridiculous movie. It's super cheesy, but it is so fun. And they used to have this, I don't think it's still going, but they used to have a Waterworld stunt show. And it was just like all these guys on jet skis and like fire and machine guns and everything like that. And at the studios, like the festivals and stuff. And that went on. It was far more successful than the movie. So,
Cool.
So unfortunately, this work has seemed to kind of peter out. That he's not like it's not an active, but I wanted to point that out because that's crazy. The guy who gave us Predator Badlands might give us a jet school or a jet school. My gosh, a jet ski, high fueled machine gun adventure in the future.
That's so cool. I need to watch
So
this movie.
dude, you should check it out. It's pretty delightful. Okay. We're moving on, Andrew. We're moving to my top. Well, okay. I always struggle to say this. These are my movies that I call 10 out of 10s.
Mm-hmm.
And I've struggled with this because I don't like saying that's a perfect movie. I will say it's a 9 out of 10. I will just not go there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm 35 years old. It's time that I call a 10 out of 10. So I look at my wife and I say, that's you. And that's this list of movies. So here we go.
Very nice. Yeah. Yep.
So I've got a list. This is not a list of 10. This is a list of 11. And I am allowed to add to this list as it goes on because this is just what sprang to my head first. So this is not in any particular order. And Andrew is going to give me random numbers and we're going to gush about this movie. And I'm going to tell you why I think it's a 10 out of 10. And I'd love to hear, you've seen all these movies, so I'd love to hear just some of your thoughts on these as well.
Terrific. Are you ready for the first number?
Let's do it.
Okay. You have 11 movies. I'm going to roll a 12-sided die and give you that number. Ready?
Nice. 12.
9.
Number 9. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. Done. Podcast over.
It's done. It's over.
Directed by Peter Jackson. This is so funny because this is a movie I always like to look up, make sure I have all writers, directors, and actors' names. I know this movie so well, I don't need any of that information. I think I could name all 9 Fellowship. I'm not good with actor names, I should preface that. And I think I could tell you every actor name in the Fellowship and all the cast, like the main cast and crew. I think I could be that cool.
The boom mic operator.
The boom mic operator. That was Scott Slanderson, and not to be confused with Brandon Sanderson. Dude, this movie, to me, this movie kicked off my love of movies. I liked movies, but I saw this movie when I was 11, and it was full immersion. This
Yeah.
the scope of it. I had never seen a movie where just that opening battle, it starts off as like this person just telling this story, and it just pulls you in. And it's like this small story about these rings. And I had never read the books before. And then it opens up to this global conflict. And just like that opening shot with the elves and men fighting against the forces of Sauron. And it's just like the opening shot, and we had never seen that before. That was the first time they used the program Massive, which is basically the way to create these digital characters that is on this giant scale. So you can show these battles, and the CG still shows up. And I don't even know how. Like, this movie was shot in the 90s. And I'm like, it's 2025, and a lot of CG now does not look good. And it's like, that Balrog still looks great, man, you know? And I think this
Dude,
created my
that's
love.
Weta Digital, is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Which that company started because of this movie.
Yeah.
And that's another fun story. Yeah. And I think that's what's cool too, is like these movies are genre defining. I think that's an era too. I mean, they shot it as one movie, and it released it as three parts, 2001, 2002, and 2003. So every Christmas you could go to the movies and watch one of these movies. And I think The Fellowship to me is just a little bit better, but I like the smaller story of The Fellowship, but
Sure.
they're all perfect. So I call a 10 out of 10 now. It's like, it's perfect, and I want to watch it every year. To me, that's what a 10 out of 10 is. So The Fellowship of the Ring is a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
Boom.
Beautiful.
Well, I'd love to hear something. You want to say something? You got more rebuttal? You hate it? Something like
that? I think that I will mostly pipe up for rebuttal if I disagree with you.
Wrong.
But in a kind way, where I go, oh, like something's missing from that for me. But you and I could just wax and wane eloquently about how good Lord of the Rings is. Brandon Sanderson reference, wax and wane.
There you go.
So I've got nothing to add, because that's going to take up the whole show.
Yeah.
So
that's
beautiful.
It's a movie. I think the criticism would be it's too long. And I think,
oh no, my lobster is too buttery. What?
The steak is too big. I just can't finish.
Yeah, my steak is too juicy. I just can't. What are you talking about?
I have my confrontational attitudes about this movie are so mild. I think the only one I have that other Lord of the Rings fans would disagree with is, I think the theatrical cuts are better. I think there are better movies. I think they're cleaner. It's a more concise stuff. It's just cut out some of the fluff that you don't need. But here's the thing. I read the book, and the book is still shorter than the movie. So I like and I prefer the extended editions, but I do think the theatrical cuts are better.
Better films.
Yeah.
But as far as consuming the content, extended edition is your preference.
Yeah. The Fellowship of the Ring extended edition is my favorite movie. But I think...
But you can understand that theatrical is a better cut movie. It's better paced.
Mm-hmm.
That's very smart of you. I was about ready to have an emotional reaction.
Yeah. And it's one of those movies, too. It's hard for me to remove my love of the source material, because, like, Houses of the Healing in Return of the King, it's this beat where we stop from the action, the main plot, and we just show, Aragorn healing people. And it's just music and there's no words. That feels like such a, like, in a movie world, that's like, you don't need that scene at all. But for me, I'm like, that's the House of the Healing. He's taking up his mantle as king. And king is not just a leader. King is a healer. And he is a protector of his people.
Servant.
It's like, yes, a servant.
A servant to the people.
Yeah. So we still need to do a full Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King episodes, but we haven't done that yet.
I just got goosebumps. You're talking about the House of the Healing. Oh, man. Okay.
House of the Healing.
Anyway.
All right. We have done 9. Yep, let's hear it.
9 is done. Number 1.
Number
I'm
one.
also keeping track of the numbers. You don't have to.
I love this list because every time you roll one of these numbers, I look at what's on my list. I'm like, I love this movie. It's
It's
like
all wins.
it's like when you made a Spotify playlist and every song you're like, love this song.
Like, who made this? This is hit
Okay.
after hit.
This one, you might be surprised. This is one of the rare things that might surprise you. The Patriot, starring Mel Flippin' Gibson.
Okay.
I love this movie. I love American history. I was homeschooled. So I made a joke to a buddy that I bumped into. It was another homeschooler. And we were talking about things. I can't remember what happened, but American history was brought up and someone else didn't know what we were talking about. And I was like, you know American history. I know it because you were homeschooled. And for some reason, I feel like homeschooled, I don't know if you feel this way, Andrew, but definitely where I am, it's just like American history was pushed really hard. Like,
Yes.
I might not know about Europe pre-World War II, but I know about American history. Yeah, I think it's one of those movies I saw as a kid, and besides Star Wars, me playing outside with like my friends and cousins, we played The Patriot. Like,
No
Red
way.
Coats.
You played Civil War.
oh yeah. No, not Civil
Sorry.
War.
Revolutionary War.
American independence, baby.
Some-
Yeah, no, I totally love to play that. No, we didn't play Civil War. That'd be a bit. Here, you be my brother. You be my brother. And I'm gonna shoot you. You and your brothers played that, didn't you? You played Civil War movies.
Be the 5th.
No, so I just love that era. But then Mel Gibson, I think, is such a good action like character in this time period. But this movie is shot beautifully. The music, the levity, the humor is just like this is my favorite war movie because I feel like I didn't have too many. There's other ones that stand out, but like to me, this is such a rewatched movie, and this is one that it does have some interesting things to say about just like even like in slavery, like they don't shy away from this stuff, and they show the tragic events. I mean, the scene in the church is so chilling where they like lock them all in there and like that stuff happened. And it's so crazy to remember like people were so hate filled over taxes that we were like, we're going to lock you in a church and burn it to the ground. Like that's crazy to me that it became that intense. Like, but I don't know. So I feel like that movie and just seeing Mel Gibson just slaughter redcoats is honestly, it's a delight. And it also started my hatred of all things British. So that's not true at all.
That's why you hate the Beatles?
Yeah, dude, worst band ever. A little fun fact I found is the production used over 500 muskets and 100 cannons, many of which were custom built. So which is really cool, kind of like Lord of the Rings style. Like they like forged real cannons and muskets, and
Jeez.
just went at each other.
What do they do with them afterwards? They sell them?
They're in my house. All right, any rebuttal, or should we move on?
Wow, I'm going down a tax rabbit hole. We got to get out of there. Wait, am I supposed to pay taxes?
Taxes. You know how like you pay
What?
the government into your income?
I think I'm in trouble.
Yeah, well, good thing we're not putting this on the internet.
All right, ready for the next one?
Let's do it.
Number 6.
Number 6. Okay. The Thing.
Oh, cool.
John Carpenter. This is based on Who Goes There. I never didn't know that until making my notes for this. Yeah, this is a movie we just did a month or two ago, I guess at this point. We did a Doodads movie talk with this movie.
3 months ago?
3 months ago, dang. This movie, it's so, once again, I think I love a movie that looks good. And that sounds ridiculous to say, but I think so many times you're watching a movie and like this could be a book. This really could. Like, I'm not seeing it as a visual. And to see a movie that's just like the opening scene where a helicopter is chasing a wolf is one of my favorite openings of all time. It looks incredible, and you're also like, what is going on? This is insane. They're just trying to shoot this wolf that's a husky, and you're like, what? Um, but the paranoia of this film, the suspense, the practical effects alone. Could you look up the guy's name? I forgot to write that down. Oh, Rob Botton, is that his name? But so he did the practical effects, and he was like 22 at the time.
Oh yeah.
And these are the most insane practical effects you'll ever see. And this movie, I think John Carpenter, is a director that's not actually very good, but somehow he created some extremely perfect movies. I think like Halloween and this are perfect. And for me, this is a rewatch. I love putting on this movie anytime. So, yeah, for more on The Thing, go watch our The Thing episode.
Yeah. You did get the name right, for the record. So yeah,
Nice.
good job.
Rob.
Dude, yeah, I love that movie so much. There's so many iconic things about it, which I think is it's hard to distinguish. It's hard to pick out iconic movies as they come out. So that's why most movie lovers fixate onto decades before they were alive, or decades when they were children, right? Like, I have a nostalgic connection to this movie, and it turns out it was a really incredible movie.
Yeah.
The Thing is one that I found as an adult, came out before I was born, like no reason why I would be around for it when it was happening, but so glad that it did, like, set such a high bar for how mystery thrillers can be portrayed, right? That's like the case study. You want to make a mystery thriller horror movie that's like grotesque and interesting and all those things, with really compelling characters, with lots of plot twists that make sense. That's what you have to do. So it's just incredible. I have no qualms that it is a 10 out of 10 for you.
Yeah. I think a negative that one could make, some of these movies are like, this is perfect, but I could see somebody making this mistake, or this mistake really, but having this judgment, is that I could see people wanting it to be a clear cut whodunit, so you could actually figure it out. But to have just like the paranoia is such a cool way to do it, that you're not trying to figure it out. So you like, hey, sit back and just view this movie, because you will not figure it out. You can't figure it out. Andrew's adjusting his camera right now, and I keep tipping my head to correct it, and so I'm getting a little crick in my neck.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good, dude. It's so funny. It's just like, didn't even notice it. Like, as you were working on it, I'm like slowly like tipping my head. What if we just did that? Just like both of our heads at a 45-degree angle and did the whole podcast like that.
What do you mean?
Oh man.
All right, ready for your next number?
Yeah, let's just move right on.
Okay. We have number 8.
Number 8, Jaws.
Oh, let's go.
Once again, Steven Spielberg. We did a whole episode about this. I think that's our goal, is for
Steven
these
Spielberg specifically.
Yeah, but both of them, like our movie, like the movies that me and you call 10 out of 10s, the goal is for us to do deep dives on all these movies. So some we have, some we haven't. We did a whole episode. This is the only movie talk we did where it was just the two of us. We were just talking about that. And it was back when we were recording 2 episodes each time we recorded together. So we did a normal episode, and then we did a movie talk. And I still remember you could tell you were just so tired by the end of the Jaws movie, but I was still so fired up. I just go for I think you stop saying something, and then I go for another 40 minutes about what I like about Jaws. Oh man. And
Beautiful moment.
What a beautiful moment. So yeah, go check out my rantings on that. It's man, I don't know why it's people are always surprised where like this is a movie I'll throw on in vacation. This
Hmm.
this movie really did start my love of the ocean, which is crazy because it drives most
Oh,
people out of the water, but just
yeah.
sharks are so cool and it just like I've always loved the water. It's probably why I liked Waterworld to be honest, but
Oh, good point. Good
um
tie-in.
yeah, so I think this movie is it's just the movie that starts off as like a basic like people are getting picked off by this existential threat, but then it gets better the further on you go in the movie. And when it's just three guys on a boat and they're all extremely different people and they're rallying around one goal, it's like such a good story. It's such a good character
Right.
piece. And then the more you learn about the movie, the better it gets. Like the fact that like Steven Spielberg was shooting this on the ocean for authenticity, and what he tells every director that's his go-to advice is never shoot in the ocean because it was so
Mm.
difficult. And they talked about just like the different of like how different the water makes like the recording, like the videotape. What
Interesting.
word am I
The
trying to say?
rocking of
Just
the
like
boat. Like,
no, just the color. Just like so basically the clouds with the ocean and the sun and everything day to day looks so different. They had to color correct every day because they looked
wow.
so different on camera. And just that difficulty alone. And yeah, just of course the rocking of the boat, let alone they were using a mechanical shark, all this stuff, how hard it was. And regardless, that's still a perfect movie to me. Um,
Yeah.
Jaws.
Man, there's so there's so few story types that you can tell when you decide to make a horror movie. And this is the perfect man versus nature horror movie. Like you got man versus man, man versus machine or technology, maybe, man versus nature. You could fit in like supernatural into nature, maybe, but regardless, the man versus a naturally occurring thing is such a cool and interesting take on horror because it's not another person who is evil and it's not something that mankind has created and has gone awry, right? Like AI stuff, iRobot or Terminator. Um, this is just something that occurs in the natural world, and its level of danger, like its level of how violent it can become is unknown, and that's what's so scary about it. And I love that part of that movie. And you're right, it woke so many people up to um what is the potential of the ocean as far as danger, and it made everyone so afraid. uh this is one of the most culturally significant movies that requires so few people to have seen it. Like, you are affected by Jaws whether you've seen it or not because you're probably afraid of the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's a reason for that. And I think I am such a popcorn flick movie guy. I am the blockbuster movie fan. And this started it all. That's when they came up with that term is like this is like how do you describe a movie that everyone goes to see?
Yeah.
And even to this day, 40 years later, or no, 50 years later, right?
50.
Also, it's kind of crazy. We just I talked about the Edmund Fitzgerald on another podcast, and also 50 years. So it's like I don't know
Yeah,
why.
dude.
It's like, hey, let's sink a ship and make a Jaws movie. Um,
Yeah.
but just like a lot of the movies on my list are not going to be surprises. There's nothing going to be like this is. I would never have thought that Heath loved that movie. It's like everyone likes that movie. But to me, there's reasons for that, and you're so right with a cultural stepping stone. You can see it between Jaws, Star Wars, um, Lord of the Rings. I don't even know what you'd be in the 80s there, but just like these movies that like elevated movies and like I think made things better. And just like you have to put out those quality because then it's like everyone wants to be that movie or it freaks everybody out. Lord of the Rings freaked everyone out because they're like, that was so good and so amazing. And that literally took hundreds of thousands of people to make that movie and years of their life to make that movie. Like, that's why there was like, we didn't see a huge fantasy boom after that movie because like, well, you just perfected it, so there's no what else are we
What are we
supposed
gonna
to
do?
Yeah. Jaws.
Incredible. All right, next one coming up. Number 10.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, cool. How many Steven Spielberg movies are on this list?
This might be the last one.
Okay, all right. We do love Spielberg, so
We do love
not
Spielberg.
Shocked.
Yeah, I mean, I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is perfect. I love Star Wars, but I think this is the perfect, George Lucas, Steven Spielberg creation. It's such a clean movie. It's paced so perfectly. It doesn't feel too fast. It doesn't feel too slow. And you're completely satisfied. How many movies have you watched where you're like, that should have ended 10 minutes ago, or the opposite? You're like, I wanted more. It's just perfect. The pacing is so crazy. The story is such a what happens next. And then, we've talked about this. This movie is based on like old like serial adventures, and you can cut this movie every 10 to 20 minutes and it's basically an episode of TV. It's like Indy gets lost in a crowd. Indy steals the horses. They find the Ark of the Covenant. Like they're just like these action beats. And I think it helps you keep engaged because it's just like, every 15, 20 minutes, it's a new set piece. It's a new action piece. It keeps going and keep going. This is written by Lawrence Kasdan, who did a lot of work on different Star Wars projects as well. And I love it because they made movies. They made something that they love. And in my opinion, they made it so much better. They took the guy in the fedora in the jungle trope and perfected it and just put it on. And once again, you put this movie on and anything, anytime, and I'll watch it. It's just so perfect.
Yeah, this is one that I think I'm guessing. I think my first watch of this was probably in like a hotel room. My parents are falling asleep and my dad left the TV on and I'm just flicking through the channels. And I just jumped in at some point. And that's totally what this movie allows you to do. Like you could jump in anywhere. But it's start to finish. You're right, totally well paced. And the story, I think everyone can connect with. Like everyone has that inner child that wants to be an adventurer, a discoverer, like someone who wants to go and see the world, see what like other people and cultures have to offer, and then steal it and put it in a museum.
Right.
Every child wants to steal stuff. Yeah. So it's just so adventurous and childlike in that sense. That's what makes it a huge hit for me. There are obvious like tangible things that make it a good film, like music, production, like the directing, the cinematography, that opening sequence we've talked about before. One of my favorite character introductions in a movie of all time. And you just get this real sense without any verbal dialogue that Indiana Jones has been through a lot of stuff, and this is not his first rodeo, and you just want to see more. So,
I never even related that, but you're right. One of the best character reveals of all time, character introductions. Once again, I'm like, it's cliche, but I think about this and I think about Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. Just like,
yeah,
what a way to show exactly who this person is so fast. Yeah. And I would always say that Harrison Ford is Indiana Jones to me, even more than Han Solo. And I love that character. But you talk about how like we pick up with Indy, and this is definitely not his first mission. This is not his first, temple run, if you will. You remember that game, that mobile game, Temple Run?
Yeah.
I'm actually playing it right now. We should get a Temple Run league going, really,
cool.
Really focus on.
I think I hit 1 million.
Oh, it's been too long, dude. I don't even remember what that means.
Oh, man. It's not. I'm just kidding. It's
Yeah.
a ton.
I remember being at a conference and they were getting people to come on stage and they hooked up the phone to like the main screen, like the Megatron thing. And we're like playing Temple Run. It was like the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
Crazy.
This whole time I'm like, it's 2012. How are you hooking up an iPhone to this Megatron? What cables are you using? So I think it's cool to see that this is not Indiana Jones, his first mission. This is the first movie, but this is not the first mission. You can tell he's been through it. And that's, I think, the perfect description of all these other creatives attached to this. Steven Spielberg was, quite a few movies in. George Lucas had his other franchise that was the biggest in the world. Lawrence Kasdan, Harrison Ford, like all these people are known for other great, amazing genre defining things. And they all came together and said, let's do something different. And which is so cool because
Yeah.
this wasn't Jaws 2. This wasn't another Star Wars trilogy. This wasn't, all these different things. It was something new, and it was created yet another thing. If all Steven Spielberg did was make Indiana Jones, it would be a great director.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just cool to see that all come together.
Oh, beautiful. All right. Next number 7.
Number 7. Well, Andrew, I know this is going to pop up on your list. It's Alien, directed by Ridley Scott, writer Dan O'Bannon. It's just that perfect slow burn sci-fi movie where the pacing from beginning to end is incredible. I mean, when we have the beginning of like a slowed typewriter sound computer coming in, the ship is completely silent because everyone's asleep. So they just started turning on, like waking up like the AI, waking up the crew. And then at the end, you've got all the warning lights, the beats. Ripley's getting chased by the alien. The sound is like overwhelming. Just like the pacing alone is so perfect. And I love the something went wrong in space genre,
Yeah.
it's just so fun. And I mean, just how can we not talk about like H.R. Giger's like design for all these
Mhm.
creatures and just made some really like messed up stuff that's like
Yeah.
haunting, and just like the alien, the xenomorph alone is incredible. The face hugger alone is incredible. And it's just like, and it once again, it just jumps you in. You have no idea what's going on. We found this down ship, all these eggs, and it's just the characters, the crew, the close knit crew, and then you figure out what side people are on. There's twists and turns. Once again, I will put this on any day. Andrew,
Dude.
do you have anything to say about the movie Alien?
Yes.
This
I
is the
think
Ridley Scott movie, by the way.
Oh, from 2010?
No,
2012?
no.
1979. Oh, okay.
This isn't Prometheus. This is like the first time he made an
Oh,
alien movie.
bummer. No, it's amazing. The experience of watching this movie is unlike any other movie. Specifically, right now, I'm thinking of what you're referencing, the opening sequence with all those cool, like sci-fi, like kind of like typewriter-y noises.
Mhm.
I love those sounds. It's a great way to wake up. Like you are waking up with the crew, and that's part of the story. Is just as much as the crew does. The crew knows a little bit more because this is their job, right? But as far as the things that matter, you learn stuff when they learn stuff. And that's what makes this. There are lots and lots of things like Geiger's artwork, his concepts for the creatures, the cinematography stuff. But as far as the story that's being told, the written narrative, what makes this movie enjoyable for almost everybody is that aspect, that it unfolds, and as people pick sides, so do you. When people start like turning their backs on others, you're like, yeah, don't trust that guy. Or like, oh, I always thought he was weird, when you didn't, and you're just like telling yourself that. So it's just such an incredibly unique experience. It's so fun. There's a wonderful. Have you ever watched like old Twilight Zones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I have a coworker that loves the Twilight Zone. So if he's listening to this, Todd, shout out. He
Dude,
loves old
what's up,
Twilight
man?
Zones. And there's one in particular that I think I hope, I don't know this for a fact, but that Alien kind of pulls some inspiration from as far as the horror genre and like people turning against each other as they learn more information, but also as they extrapolate and as they like spin stories out into like a made up reality. Um, and it's called
He's using his brain power, his mega brain power, his mega mind to suss it out, to procure it. He's smiling. I think he's got something. A little smirk.
The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street.
Hmm.
There you go. So that as a short aside, is from like the 50s, like late 50s, early 60s, 1960s. This whole neighborhood of people who are like, where Alien is coworkers, these are neighbors. They live together, right? Alien, these people live together. Um, and you see how quickly people will turn against each other when there is a perceived threat. In the Twilight Zone, the threat, as far as the viewer is concerned, is unconfirmed, and they're just making stuff up. And there's a reveal at the end. But for Alien, the threat is real. It's tangible. We know it. We've seen it. But the story is the same for how people react to perceived threats. Is like, okay, if I can't put my hands on or fix the problem, if I can't actually have a solution here, then you are the problem and you are keeping me from it. And so it's just really interesting dynamic. That's what I'm going to say about Alien. I feel like every time this movie comes up, I say something new.
Yeah.
Like
got a
I
lot.
never
I
say
love
the
it.
same things.
Yeah, which is awesome. Well, I even love too, wrapping up Alien talk, I think it really, Ripley wins you over, which is so cool.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she is more of the stodgy by the rules. Like, if he's contaminated, we can't let him on the ship. Like, and she's going against the captain. But then you're like, oh, I'm on the captain's side. He's looking out for his buddy. And like, we're on Ripley's side. Like, Ripley is like the pencil pusher. She's the goody
Yeah,
two
she's the
shoes.
logical brain.
Which we don't like. But then hindsight, you're like, she was 100% right the entire time. But then also, she wins you over with being like, oh, we're totally Team Ripley by the end.
Next up is number 2.
Number 2. Oh, dude, it's another movie I love.
No way, brother.
Speaking of Edgar Wright, baby, Hot Fuzz.
Oh, boy.
Some of these were tough because not that I have to, but I did kind of stick with one movie, a franchise, one,
That's
one
smart.
director,
I'm glad.
Well,
Yeah.
I didn't do one director with Steven Spielberg, but he has, I mean, I have such a love of like, honestly, Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz are in a constant flux of which one I love more. I think what wins for me in Hot Fuzz is this is a movie is so well done and it's so well written and the jokes are so perfect. It's so quotable. But once again, you have all the stylistic choices of Edgar Wright to show you him leaving town. Like I brought that up before, how Nicholas Angel leaves town and goes to the boonies and how it breaks down is such a perfect way to show. And so many movies just be like, okay, the big city cop is going out of town. All right, have a good time. Cut. He's in the city.
Yeah.
And that's
Enter
what people
the
do.
B-roll footage of that airplane taking off from
Yeah.
Tarmac, and then he walks out of a gate at an airport, and you're like,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And it's cool to see a director use their medium, to use their space and their visuals. Like Edgar Wright uses editing to tell a story. And I feel like that's so not done. And I feel like the opposite of is like more of the long shots, right? Like the one take stuff, which is also cool, but like that's used to tell a story. And then flip that to Edgar Wright's just fast paced comedy. And it's such a perfect movie. I will watch it anytime. And yeah, I just want to quote it. It's one of those movies. I don't know if we'll ever do a movie talk on it because, as you can even tell, I don't know what I would say about it besides like, dude, oh man, like, and then like we could just quote
I think
it
we
for an
should
hour.
sometime. Yeah.
Maybe that'll just be like a Christmas episode. We talked about like just like having fun. Like this isn't trying to. Maybe it's just for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything to say about Hot Fuzz?
No, honestly, those you call them they're a trilogy. What is the name of the trilogy?
Oh, so it's the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy. So this is a good
Okay.
thing to explain that not everyone knows, but if you know these movies, you probably do. But so Edgar Wright, Simon Pegg, Nick Frost are all buddies. They grew up knowing each other. I think Nick Frost was like at least high schoolish, college age, somewhere in there. They've known each other for a long time. Um, so which is something that makes it feels to me like the relationship between like Sam Raimi and
Dan Campbell.
uh
Nope, that's the Lions guy. Bruce Campbell. I'm sorry.
I was so ready to just be like, yes. I don't because I was blanking on Bruce's name, but then Dan Campbell. You look so confident when you said it too. Oh, that's perfect. But those guys actually went to like grade school together, and they like in their college was renting a cabin in Tennessee and renting film cameras and shooting a movie. Like that was their experience. And so Edgar Wright even
That
he's
was
got a
the-
great
yeah.
sh- Simon Pegg who plays Nicholas Angel. He has a great book called If You've Got Red on You, and it's like kind of his autobiography. And he talks about just kind of like that was someone they inspired, like they were inspired by, and been like, you can do this. You can just have three friends who are trying to make it in the industry, and then just like let's do a project together, and it just really works. So that's kind of like just a cool story about how that happened and how that was all put together. But I think this is some of their best work. So anyways, the Three Flavors Cornetto trilogy is those three guys working on a movie, and it was kind of all the same. It's more of the dark comedy kind of thing. So that it's Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, and The World's End. So they're all
Okay.
the same main core, and it's all like the same dark comedy thing, but they're all completely different characters. So it's like
In different
it's a
genres.
yeah, different genres. Yeah, correct. And so it's kind of like it's still a trilogy, but not in the traditional sense. And the only thing, the title, the reason it's all tied together is because there is a cornetto scene in every single movie, which us Americans would call a drumstick. Like the little cheap gas station ice cream treat, like the waffle cone and the ice cream.
That's the reason that it's called that?
Yeah.
What? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. It's the only thing that, like, it's one of the
Wow.
few things that actually ties them all together. It's like there's a scene about a cornetto. So I think I
Wow.
can name them all. Ready?
No, I've okay.
So in Shaun of the Dead, Sean leaves and says, "Do you want anything from the shop?" And he goes, Cornetto. I can't even say it. I gotta say it with a British accent. So he goes in and
It's like
gets some
cornetto.
Cornetto. He goes and takes it from the shop. And then in the second one, they're sitting in the cop car, and they say like we should go get a cornetto to go to the shop. And then in the third one, a wrapper for a cornetto. After the world has ended, the apocalypse has already come. There's a cornetto wrapper that like flies and hits the fence, and like Nick Frost like lovingly like looks at it like he wants it so bad.
That's funny.
So there it is,
Yeah, I've seen that of that trilogy. I've seen those movies one time.
dude.
Each
Watch
each
them.
movie once.
It's so good.
We should watch them.
Yeah, maybe that's the best way to do that talk is we do a Three Flavors Cornetto talk. So we can watch all three movies and then talk about them. But now we're getting behind the scenes stuff. So all right, let's keep it moving.
Okay, next number 3.
Number 3, if I can remember the code to my phone, The Boondock Saints. Writer director Troy Duffy. Hyper like stylized violence. It's about these two brothers that basically it's the Popeye mentality. This is all I can stand and I can't stand it anymore. And so they push back against organized crime, and they start fighting some really bad people. And I would say it's more metaphorical, but when it comes down to the movie, it's just like, we're just going to kill bad people, like the worst of
Yeah.
the worst. It's like, we're not good guys. We're going to take all these guys out. Um, it was basically this movie where the story is it was going to go into theaters, and it was pulled from so many because Columbine had just happened. And
Oh
so
yeah.
they were like, this is not the time to be, you know, pro gun in any sense of the word, at least for this week. Let's take a step back. And I think they just felt like it wouldn't hyperized violence of guns just did not fit
Yeah.
in the climate, especially at that time. It's like, I think it would have been like, hey, let's have a movie about people flying planes into buildings right after 9/11. It just didn't feel like right. So I'm all about freedom of speech and freedom, of creativity. But it wasn't like they were making a commentary on Columbine either. It was just kind of like
No.
wrong movie,
Pump the
wrong
brake a
time.
little.
So because of that, it went straight to video, and it became one of the most successful straight to video movies of all
I did not
time.
know that.
Yeah, because it's basically this full Hollywood production that they just put right on to DVD or like VHS. So yeah, but that's a really
It's
fun
good.
one.
It's
Soundtrack's
You're
great.
bringing up some movies that I need to revisit.
Hmm.
When I think of Boondock Saints, I think of Peacemaker. Have you seen that show?
Yeah.
The James Gunn show? I know that they're like drastically different in execution, right?
Uh-huh.
But vibe, like that's when I think of Boondock Saints, I think of Peacemaker's quote when he says, "I cherish peace so much." What does he say? He's like, "I cherish peace with all my heart. I don't care how many men, women, and children I need to kill to get it." And I don't think Boondock Saints is that level of comedy, right? But that's what I think of when I think of those guys doing what they're doing in Boondock Saints. I'm like, the Peacemaker would love you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, it is that same mentality for sure. It's definitely not played as like humor, but the characters are really good too. And it's just like about these two brothers, and they're really likable, and they just kind of start working with like the cop. Like Willem Dafoe plays one of, I say this in all seriousness, one of the crazier characters. He's just this very,
Of his career, really?
I mean, he's got a lot of crazy stuff. I'm not saying this is crazy,
Yeah, it
but
is.
just one of the crazier things that like, yeah, it's just his insanity in this movie. Even just the way he shows up, and he's like, I'm gonna tell you, he's a detective, and he's like, I'm gonna go over this crime scene. I'm gonna listen to operatic music and like dance around and figure this out. Like they start him off, and it's like,
Jeez.
we're going for it. We're going for it, boys. But yeah, such an enjoyable movie, such a good rewatch. But yeah, really love this movie. All right,
Incredible.
let's roll
Up
it.
next, number 11.
Number 11, Back to the Future.
Oh.
I mean, such a perfect movie. I just got to see this again with so two of my buddies, so Nick and Cam, shout out guys. Cam loves this movie as well. And my buddy Nick, this was the first time he had watched it, and this was the 40th anniversary of Back to the Future, and it came back to IMAX. And I'm like, if you're gonna watch that movie for the first time, what a cool way to do that.
Wow.
This movie to me is so much. It's the writing is perfect. The acting is perfect. It's genre breaking in my mind, because
Yeah.
what genre is Back to the Future? It's just, well, it's a movie about a kid who travels back in time and has to fit. It's like, I guess, sci-fi, but it's
Sci-fi action adventure comedy? I don't know.
yeah, exactly. Like in some type of time travel, because it doesn't work without time travel. I think there's a lot of movies that you could take it out of its time period and you could still make it work. Like I'd say Star Wars is one. You could put Star Wars in a medieval era and replace speeder bikes with horses and starships with ships, and
The frame is the same.
you could still tell the same story. But like, this is a movie, like without time travel, this movie doesn't work. There is no movie. So it's so heavy on that. And this is really cool. So like this is like Robert Zemeckis is one of those movies that he just kept trying for so long to make, and this was like the guy who gave us Forrest Gump before anyone would give him the time of day is just trying to make this movie that he loves in this script. And I think that's definitely something we're missing. We talk a lot about how movies don't have great scripts anymore. And
Yeah.
it just feels like we're not giving these types of people the chance. But I think that's kind of always been the case, right? It's like there's always somebody who's like, I wrote this story and I just want to see this on the silver screen. And I think they're like, we'd rather work with a writer we've already worked with, and pump out another subpar Thor movie.
Yeah, I think that's a distinction to make, is that like when we say stuff like that, we're like, well, the writing of modern film is so lacking. I think there's always been poor writing, and there is really good writing right now, but it's astounding how many projects are greenlit by massive studios with huge amounts of money without a good script.
Yeah.
And that's what's so surprising, is that seems to be more the case. Like there is good writing still, there are good movies, but how are these huge like million billion dollar corporations not like you're supposed to know movies? How are you green lighting this trash? So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah, and it makes sense for someone like Ridley Scott when he's a writer, director, producer. It's so easy to understand that he made a movie that falls short with plot holes, but then you're right with something like the new Star Wars movies, like when they're making like the sequel trilogy. Like, how is this
yeah,
bad?
it's supposed to know movies.
Like,
Yeah.
and like not even like it should be at least cookie cutter. And like, oh, that was fun.
Yeah.
And just the fact that people walked away like,
Should
I
be at least
hated
fine.
that movie is crazy.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay. So
next one.
I'm gonna end Back to the Future with a, I think, genuinely difficult trivia question for you.
Okay.
Okay. What does Marty's younger mother think he is called when he goes back in time?
Calvin Klein.
Oh, nice, dude.
Dude,
Wow.
you have no idea. We could do a whole trivia. I think all these movies that I've mentioned, I have a weird memory that's very like strong, especially in movies. And there's something about visual and audio together for me that like I can quote a movie as soon
really
as
seals the deal.
Yeah.
All right. Coming up next, number 4.
Number 4. Inglourious Bastards, Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, cool. Wow.
I mean, Tarantino is incredible in general. His dialogue, I mean, he makes Reservoir Dogs. He makes a scene about people talking about whether or not you should tip your waitress. Interesting. And that's a whole movie. Once again, some of those scenes are like, that's an entire movie in that opening scene. Inglourious Bastards, same thing. The opening scene of this is the most intense, the most like, it's perfect. The whole movie, but like this first scene is a perfect opening. It's a perfect scene. It's an entire movie. And it's just Tarantino, man. He just has it. I think the connection between what the character is doing and saying is all completely intentional. There's no cookie cutter about him. There's no just like, well, I don't know, that looked cool, so I did that. It's like Hans Landa. He's interrogating this guy, and the farmer has a corncob pipe. And he's like, do you mind if I smoke? And he pulls out this like medieval Meerschaum pipe, which is like all like the, the polished cut ivory and just ridiculous. But that's who he is. He is posh. He's arrogant. And like they're telling you who they are by the pipes they hold. And all this conversation is going on, and they drop the camera, and there's like hidden Jews under the floorboards. And he's like, you're hiding enemies of the state, are you not? The switch is just like, oh man. And then even
visceral.
It's crazy. And the bar scene, I think, is my favorite of this movie. It's just, they go in and they're trying to connect with the German spy, and they have this whole barroom fight, and the whole thing is the tension, and it is the classic I'm holding a gun under the table, and they both have a gun on each other the entire time. And it is this play out. It's like he makes conversation so intense and thrilling, and the dialogue is just perfect. And gosh, who's the guy who plays Hans Landa? Christoph Waltz.
Michael Fassbender?
Oh, Christoph Waltz.
I thought you said, I heard Hans and I went, Hiccups. Michael Fassbender is Hiccups. Anyway.
No, this was crazy, but because you can see he is such a perfect person, but Tarantino almost didn't
He's
make
a perfect
this movie.
person.
He's a perfect. I'm not a perfect person. Tarantino almost didn't make this movie because he couldn't find that person, and literally, it was like days before last minute edition that they found Christoph Waltz and like put him in this movie, and the language, he's just like, oh yeah, I can speak French and German and English and
nuts.
Yeah,
that dude's insane.
He sinks it in. And once again, all these movies are, I would say, there's one we haven't talked about yet would be a straight up probably comedy, but all these movies are like so funny. And I think a well-written joke I will take over. I'm not trying to put down Will Ferrell, but that's that era of movies. The Will Ferrell put you up in front of a camera and you and those other comedians are just going to like riff. And they're like, we kept the best joke. And I'm like, but then seeing a movie where it's like so well written, the jokes are set up, they're intentional. I mean, the writing everywhere is perfect, but specifically the comedy, it's like, that's the kind of comedy I think that really lasts, that it's just like actually set up and followed through. The alternate history, the whole movie leads up and you want to see them kill Hitler so bad. And you're in your head, you're just like, well, this isn't how Hitler dies, so I know they're not going to fail. Just kidding. We're going to shoot Hitler at the end. We win.
Yeah.
And it's so, you're like,
that's just what I needed, actually.
Yeah, I needed that.
Yeah.
All right.
A note about the first scene there, because we were just talked about Alien, and I was talking about like you as the audience things are revealed to you in a very suspenseful way, along with someone else who is there. As Hans Landa becomes more and more certain that there are Jews hiding under the floorboards, so do you. Like, they do not, when the Nazis show up immediately, Tarantino could have cut immediately to under the floorboards and shown us that there are people under there. And we go, oh no. But it was enough. He knew it was enough that Nazis were showing up to a farm, right? That he knew it was enough for us to be like, oh no. And he let us find out, right? Hans is almost certain, right? Did he show up 100% certain? Maybe. But as he solidifies the information and like susses this out at this dining room table, you get little crumbs of like, they're in his house. They're in the floorboards. Oh no. Like, it's just such a cool experience. So, okay. Last roll, number 5.
Number
what do we got?
5. Also, have you not rolled any repeating numbers? How did that happen?
No, why would I roll a repeating number? That'd be stupid.
So you just 1 through 12, just all rolled. You're rolling a dice, right?
That seems, it's 12 side. That seems the most efficient way. You wouldn't just like I want number 5, and you roll it, and number 5 comes up.
I'm so confused how you do this.
You can't pick like what you roll on like a 12-sided die when you just like fling it down.
Only in D&D.
Look, number 5. I just got it. I'm just kidding. Once I got a bunch of repeating numbers after that. I hit like 5 of no repeats, and then everything was a repeat. So I was just
hilarious. As far as the show goes, that's probably the best move. Like, we don't need 10 minutes of you being like, oh, it's another 5. It's another 5.
Come on.
Okay, so number 5, my last movie. Like I said, this is a list that was not in order, and this was also, I reserve the right to add movies to this. This is just like my first dip into it. The Big Lebowski, Coen Brothers movie.
Nice. Wow.
I love this movie. This is the only one that I would say is a comedy on this list. Um,
Cool
it's
foreshadow to this one last movie.
right. Yeah. It's fun how all of your movies just kind of intertwine, you know. But this movie is perfect. It's just about this guy who is just kind of things happen to him and he's kind of high the entire time. And some notes I found out, which was fun, is Jeff Bridges would ask the directors before every take, did I just burn one before this scene? Because he
Oh,
would
yeah.
play it different. Like, did I just smoke a J? Then I'm gonna play it
Yeah.
different. And just like the fact that that's how it was. It's a stoner movie, but it's the chaos around a guy who's pretty happy with just kind of living his life and going to bowling, you know, and just like
Yeah.
that's all he wants. And then crazy stuff ensues with more mobsters and just kidnapping and fake kidnapping and scams, and just John C. Reilly is such a standout to this. It's just all of his lines are so good. What a guy. Um, and yeah, it's a great cast. It's so well written. It's the funniest thing ever. All these set pieces, once again, you can just watch any of these set pieces. You can talk about how, you know, he's talking about the rug. That's one of the famous scenes. It's just, you know, the rug really pulls the room together. It's like these people came in and they peed on his rug, and he's just this dude who wants to go bowling, and he calls himself the dude, and all this stuff. And once again, it's hard to describe the movie without just quoting it the entire time, but it's such a quality movie. It's my favorite comedy movie. I think it's so well written. It's perfect.
Oh, that's beautiful. When I think of The Big Lebowski, I think of our early intro to our show.
Oh yeah, they peed on your rug.
They peed on his rug.
Dude, it's been a while since we pulled that out. I'm gonna throw our intro in the outro
at the end here
this week, just for some old good times. Yeah,
dude, what a great list, Heath. I'm so glad that you shared.
I appreciate. We're gonna do yours at some time, but yeah, like I said, those are just my movies that are my 10 out of 10 movies, and that's what I'd love. I'd love to keep adding to that because I am a movie fan and I love going to see new movies. And I loved the idea. One of my favorite moments is when I'm in the theater watching a movie and I'm like, this is going to be added to my yearly watch. That's the best.
Yeah. Okay. Heath, before we go, give us the rundown. You have 11 movies. This is no order, no particular order, just as written. These are your 10 out of 10 movies. Here they are. List them off.
Okay. The Patriot, Hot Fuzz, The Boondock Saints, Inglourious Bastards, The Big Lebowski, The Thing, Alien, Jaws, The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future.
Heath's perfect movies.
Perfect movie.
I love that. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. As always, you can find our full video show on YouTube and on Spotify. Give us a follow on Instagram and TikTok. You can subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Spotify as well. We love the interactions. If you follow us on any of those platforms, drop some comments, whether it's conversing about a topic that we are currently engaged in, or you give us some new ideas for some stuff. Tune in next week. Next time, next episode. We're getting close to Christmas, so the episodes may be sparse, but our love for you goes on forever. And as always, go see a movie.
Go see a movie.